What's up, y'all? Knight's Edge here again. Got another video for you. This is going to be definitely a lot different than what I usually do. Probably going to be a lot of editing, a lot of cussing, stuff like that. Probably going to be a pretty long video. I'm going to try to edit it to where it's not too long. But as you may well know, the old Rochambeau EDC has thrown down the gauntlet for another knife modification challenge. And Spyderco is what we got. That's what we're going for. We're modding the Spyderco. So out of the 4 knives that you could pick, I believe it was a paramilitary or a para 3, a smock, a shaman, or a Yojimbo. Now I already have a beautifully modified smock that I don't want to do anything with. I've got a gorgeous shaman that I just modified with some Met and Boss oil slick titanium scales. Beautiful knife, 15V shaman. You've probably seen it on the channel before. And I've got a really nice modded para 3 with the purple and gold LSU colors and Maximate. That's one of my favorite knives. So that left one that was not quite modded yet, but already a little bit modded, and that is, of course, the Yojimbo. Now this one, as you're looking at it, you might be able to tell it's a little bit different. You got the smooth G10 scales here, right, and the CPM crew wear on the blade. Now that is a Knife Center exclusive Yojimbo 2 to be precise. But the one thing about it that's already modified is Kevin Duty's daggers, also in this mod competition. A while back, I want to say like a year ago, maybe longer than that, before I had a knife channel, he was kind enough to mod this into a kind of like almost like a sheep's foot Yojimbo, right? Or sheep bow, whatever you want to call it. But he took that really aggressive tip and kind of curved it down and took a little bit off of that and did a really fine job, might I add. So, you know, I mean, it's pretty seamless, the work that he did. He does great work. But I bet he didn't know that this thing was going to come back to haunt him in a mod competition. So here we go. Now, I will have the full, I'm going to do the full thing. The one thing that I'm not sure about, now this is going to be kind of experimental. It might turn out looking like shit. I have no idea. I've never tried to do this before, y'all. The one thing that I do not have is liners. I don't have a liner. It's hard to find. I couldn't find a back spacer for the Yojimbo that didn't have a big glass breaker on it, so didn't get a back spacer. But I couldn't find. I was trying to find like the lock mechanism in that little part right there, but I couldn't find that either. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stonewash it. I'm going to stonewash the blade, and I am going to try to see if I can stonewash this. So I just got to be careful what parts to stonewash and what parts not to stonewash and what parts to stonewash. So definitely going to be a learning curve for me as I video it. So no matter what the result, you guys are going to get to enjoy my misery or enjoy my success, either way. So I'm thinking I'm going to put the acid etch stonewash part of this probably going to be on my Patreon. If you guys want to check out my Patreon, it's linked down below. Definitely check that out. It definitely goes towards the channel. Any money that I get off Patreon goes towards shipping, knives and stuff like that. I really do appreciate it. So I'm pretty much done plugging my own stuff there. So let's get out the mat. Got the old DLT mat here. I'm going to go ahead and disassemble this. Probably go into a time lapse, you know, because, I mean, who really wants to sit here and watch me just take apart a knife? So, yeah, well, hopefully this goes pretty good. Let's get one last look at this thing. Smooth G10, CPM crew wear on the blade, Duty's daggers modification there going on this Spyderco Yojimbo. Really awesome knife. We're about to try to make it a little more awesome. Before I disassemble it, though, before I do that, let me show you what scales I got. All right. Probably should have done that in the beginning, but I like to do stuff ass backwards anyway. So, starting off with the scales, we got these really super cool DNA lasering scales. Titanium, made by DNA Lasering. They do pretty awesome work. This is the Kraken. I thought this was I mean, this is out there for me, you know. But I thought this was a really cool pattern. You know, it's got the Kraken, the old pirate monster, you know, on that one, and the other one. Get that one out of the bag here. The other one the same way, right? So I thought, in addition to that, being on the handle, what would look cool, of course, next, naturally, just trying to figure out my other tone here, what I was going for, and that was a pocket clip. MXG Deep Carry Bronze Anode Titanium Pocket Clip. That's going to be the pocket clip for it. Go ahead and take this bad boy out of the bag here. Now, one thing that was a little bit worrisome, admittedly, was whenever I, got this, I was like, oh man, the screws, look at the screws. They're stainless. They're not bronze anode. So naturally, I didn't want to have anything half-assed. So trying to do this up as best as I can do it. This may not win the competition. I don't know. We'll see. So I was thinking, what else could I do to make this, even more, custom kind of. So I got that beautiful bronze anode clip, MXG Deep Carry Titanium Pocket Clip. I looked at Applied Weapons Tech, and what I found were these bronze anode scales, or bronze anode hardware. Now I couldn't get the back spacers, so I went with the barrel spacers there. But I'm thinking that, the bronze anode with that's going to look pretty good. And I didn't want the satin finish showing through on here, so I decided to stonewash the blade and stonewash the whatever I can stonewash here, the locking little compression lock area right there, the insides. I'm going to try to get all of that. Anything pretty much that doesn't meet friction will be stonewashed at the end of this, hopefully. Right, so yeah, that's pretty much it. Let's go ahead and get into it. I'm going to go ahead and disassemble this thing, go into a time lapse, and we'll get it over to the acid etch stonewash and see how that goes. If you're watching the full video on my YouTube, it's going to cut back what I'm planning on it doing anyways. It cutting back to after the disassembly. I'll bring back the stonewash blade. If you're on my Patreon, you'll get to see me fight with the acid wash stonewash. So that's going to be a Patreon exclusive there. I thought I could kind of do that, trying to do at least a little something extra for people that are, nice enough to pay me on Patreon. So anyway, we'll get to it. Alright, that is what the stonewash turned out to be. I think it turned out pretty good, right? Got a little contrast going on with the bronze anode on those handle scales. I do have to do a little bit of work with the Dremel, as it turns out, because this barrel spacer will not go in here. So it won't quite line up with that hole. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a Dremel and I'm going to take a little bit off of there, not all the way up to the pocket clip hole, the screws for the pocket clip spot right there, but I am going to take a Dremel and just get a kind of like just a little touch of that off, enough to where I can fit this this last barrel spacer in there. So let's cut to that. There's my cue for the editing. Alright, going back together with the freshly modded and freshly dremeled liner. Yojimbo here. So whenever I put this on, I had to Dremel off a little bit of that liner just so I can get that barrel spacer to fit in there. I mean, it looks like it'll fit. Hopefully it'll fit, and I can put this puppy back together. Might do a time lapse here. I don't know. We'll see how long it takes. Knowing me, probably end up doing a time lapse. There's my level of confidence. So put this. Where is my pivot? Or no, this is a body screw. Scale screw, yeah. Use blue Loctite's what I always try to use on knife scales. It's kind of like that medium range Loctite. It's kind of holds holds the screw in there, but also, you know, you will be able to get it out. So I'm kind of just screwing in everything on this one side at first, and then I'll screw in everything after I put the other scale on the other side. A little bit of blue Loctite, a little bit. Alright, where's my other spacer? It's an over travel. Here's spacer number 1. Where's spacer number 2 at? Oh, there it is. Alright, go ahead and put that on there. Put the screw in. Put the screw in first. Screw into the standoff, into the barrel spacer. Alright. Barrel spacer number 3. Moment of truth. Yeah, looks like it fits. I think it fits. A little bit of blue Loctite. Yep. Always rest assured, whenever you do this, something will go flying at some point, even if it's a simple knife, or when I do it. When you do it, it might go smooth as heck. I don't know, but when I do it, Murphy's Law always tends to be in effect, and whatever can go wrong will go wrong. Happens quite a lot to me, anyway. Alright, y'all, that's it. Kind of took a whole week to montage this together and everything, and it's still probably, the final product won't look too good as far as the editing and everything goes, but I think the knife looks pretty good. That is the Kraken. I'm going to call it the Kraken. It's a pattern on the handle there, handled by DNA lasering. The clip, it's a deep carry clip, milled titanium from MXG. I think it looks pretty good. And the hardware, let's see if I can get it out here. Hardware is Applied Weapons Tech on the bronze anode hardware. I think that looks pretty good, you know. I get the barrel spacers. It's got the bronze on it. I think it turned out pretty good, man. The only problem I see is it does have, as you can see, a little extra blade to handle ratio, you know, damage there, I guess you could call it. You got a really long handle on it, but yeah, I think it fits pretty good myself. I mean, I got it choked back, you know, I'm at the end of the handle right here, and then whenever I go choke up on it, like choked all the way up onto that flat, like you would do with a Yojimbo, I got a little bit sticking out there, but I don't think it's too bad, you know. So let's go ahead. I'm gonna do a quick spec overview on it, you know, since this is a totally modded out changed knife. So from the tip of the blade all the way to the end of the handle, you're looking at 7 3/8. Blade length right at 3 1/16 if you go right back to here where it goes up to the scale at. And cutting edge on this bad boy, you're looking at right at 2 5/8 on the cutting edge. So definitely not as good on the blade to handle as before, but I think the blade shape looks really nice. I really like that, you know, what Duty did before, and I've had it like this for a year with the blade shape like this. But I think he did really good on that, going to the kind of sheep's foot, you know, and I think it turned out well. I mean, I think it looks good with the bronze accents, you know, with the clip matching the hardware and the spacers. I'm glad I stonewashed the blade, and I'm glad I stonewashed the liner so they're not shiny satin color, you know, so it's not like like a totally different color. So yeah, I think it turned out pretty well myself. Let me know what you think in the comments. I mean, it might be terrible, I don't know. But a pretty sharp edge on there, 17-degree edge on there, really sharp. That's the other side. I normally don't like scales that are super busy like that, you know, but I think it's pretty cool looking. Action's still great. Centering it's still perfectly centered, you know. A little bit of blade plate, not much. I have to tighten up on the pivot just a little bit. But yeah, I think it turned out pretty good. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think in the comments, man. Hopefully you guys like it. I'm hoping to get voted for in that Mod Mayhem competition. I'm gonna link the website down below. It's gonna be in the creators bracket. It definitely upped the weight on it to 5 ounces. Just kind of curious about how much more those scales will weigh. I didn't weigh it before, but I did do a review on the Yojimbo a couple months ago before I added all the extra titanium hardware and mod stuff to it. And one more thing, yeah, I think it's pretty good on the pocket check. Yeah, definitely a deep carry clip, you know, for sure. You know, you just got that one little bit sticking out, which kind of helps grab it, I think. But yeah, I like that. I really like the way the clip looks. I like the shape of it. The bronze anno on it looks really good. You know, it's really solid. Yeah, I think it turned out all right. But like I said, let me know what you think about it down in the comments. I could be totally wrong, and of course I am biased. You know, this is mine. So, but I am going to be putting this in the Mod Mayhem competition. See what comes out. You know, maybe I'll get lucky and get in, you know, 3rd or 4th place or something like that. I don't know. I might come in first. Who knows? But yeah, I know it's not. The scales aren't as fancy as a lot of those like Rips Garage Tech and you know, fancy nested dragons belly, you know, all that stuff. But I think it came out pretty good. I know I said that about 100 times now, so probably need to stop saying it. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. Definitely check out the Mod Mayhem competition. I think the due date's July the 15th. Rochambeau is going to have the in his live stream, I believe he's going to announce the results or do the poll or whatever. So, and there's also 2 brackets. There's a community and a creators bracket. So this one's going in the creators bracket. So I'll be up against the likes of Duty and Yojimbo and Knife Dope and you know, Rob's Nerdy Knives and all them. So we'll see how she does. But anyway, appreciate you guys watching and appreciate everybody liking, subscribing. It really means a lot. Yeah, I'll see you guys on the next one.